Alright, here's an example of the first worksheet graphing vertex form. And I'll do the first couple here as examples. This is the steps. These are the steps. We're going to find the vertex, make a table. We're going to carefully graph these. So the first thing to do in each problem is find the vertex. And you have to remember this on the inside here, that makes it shift left and right. So your parent graph, x squared, it makes this parabola, the U shape. And the vertex is here at 0, 0 by default. Now this one's different. This has been shifted in comparison to the parent graph. This is, you would think this would be right because of the plus, but it actually is opposite on the inside here. This is left 2 and down 1. That's all of these points. So there are points along the way here. Each one of them moved like that, left 2, down 1. And if you go ahead and graph these, the vertex, if you move from 0, 0, left 2 and down 1 is right here. Now that would be negative in the x direction and also y direction. Negative 2 in the x, negative 1 in the y. And when we make our table here, if you make a line, you always put your first point right here. But because this is the middle of the shape, I'm actually going to put that point, the vertex, in the middle of this table. Negative 2, negative 1. And then we'll go to either side of that. We're going to make some points one way than the other. So this would be negative 1, 0, and this would be negative 3, negative 4. And you can always count like that just by ones in the x direction, but center your table around the vertex. So from here, you can plug in negative 1 and do the calculation. That's maybe the easiest way. That's the way that we did it with the lines. And that's the first way I'll show you how to do this. And grab my calculator here. Okay, so if you're going to put this in, we'll go ahead and just put in negative 1. Parentheses, negative 1 is the x value, and plus 2, and then squared, plus 2 squared, minus 1. Okay, hit enter, and that would be 0. Okay, this point 0 would be right here. Now this makes this a symmetrical shape. This is the middle of it. Now I'm going to try to shortcut some of my work here, because this point, which is the one we just figured out on our new graph, is the same as this point in the, or it's similar, it's related. You can see how they're the same across the middle of this. So if we go the same, if we go 1 to the left, it'll be the same y value. And I can show you. If you don't believe it here, let's work it out. Minus 1. Okay, and there it is. So you can use this symmetry to help you do only half of the numbers. The next one here, let's put in 0 into this. 0 plus 2 squared minus 1, 3. It's going to be here and here. So the next one, 2, 3, and 3. So if you were to imagine imaginary line here in the center of this is the line of symmetry. And everything matches up across that line. So the y-intercept is when x is 0, 0, 3, that's this point right here, that's the y-intercept. The roots, so if this is when x is 0, the roots are when y is 0. They are the x-intercept. They just have this fancy name, roots, which are these other 2 points here. These 2 places where it crosses the x-axis, that would be right here, negative 1, 0, and then also here, negative 3, 0. Okay, and then let's go ahead and make our graph here. So points do connect, and they go up and out forever like that. Okay, and then you can see, well, it matches the parent as it should. All right, the next one doesn't have a parenthesis. It's 2x squared minus 8. And so this one is not moved left or right at all, but it is multiplied by 2. That doesn't change the left-right. The only thing going on in this is down 8. This 2, what that 2 does when you multiply is a vertical stretch. You'll see that in a second here. V for vertical stretch. And down 8 is the only thing that matters for finding this vertex. So back to the parent graph here. Down 8 would be negative 8. I'll put that in the middle. 0 for x, because it didn't move left or right at all. It just moved down 8. And I'm going to put that in the middle of the table here. Don't start it there. Put it in the middle. And then we'll count to either side. So this will be 1 and 2. And you can always count by ones in the x for intermediate algebra. That'll be okay for the work we're doing. Negative 1, negative 2. Okay, and let's just plug those numbers in. And maybe let's graph this. 0, negative 2. It's right here. Okay. And two times, got to put in parentheses if you're going to do negatives. So negative 1 minus 8. Okay, this would be negative 6, and then I know this one is the same because it's symmetrical. That's the middle, is right here. This is middle. Negative 6. Okay, and if we do the same here, 2 times negative 2 minus 8, 0. This is going to be the same. All right, now the y-intercept is right here. Let's get a look at this. Always look like a U. Y-intercept is here, which is the same as the vertex. So sometimes that happens, just coincidence. And then the roots, these other points, these are the roots where it crosses the x. So 2, 0. You can see that here in the table. And then also negative 2, 0. Okay, and that's how you do the first two problems.